If your soil is dry, lifeless, and refusing to hold moisture no matter how much you water, this guide is for you. Make sure you subscribe to Evergreen Garden right now and drop a comment below telling me what kind of soil you're dealing with, because this is one of those techniques that actually changes how your garden behaves long term. It's not pretty, it's not glamorous, but it works every single time when done correctly. And once you see worms moving into soil that used to be hard and cracked, you'll understand why this trick has been quietly used by serious gardeners for generations. Earthworms don't leave dry soil because they dislike it. They leave because they cannot survive in it. Worms breathe through their skin, and without consistent moisture and organic matter, they either migrate or die. Dry soil is usually compacted, low in microbial life, and stripped of food sources. Pouring water alone doesn't fix this because moisture evaporates quickly without organic matter to hold it. The solution isn't more watering, it's creating a localized underground environment that mimics what worms naturally seek: moisture, food, and darkness. The secret ingredient is decomposing kitchen waste, especially nitrogen-rich scraps like vegetable peels, coffee grounds, overripe fruit, and small amounts of food-soaked cardboard. What makes this gross is the smell during early decomposition, but that smell is exactly what draws worms in from surrounding soil. Worms detect decaying organic matter from surprisingly far away underground. When buried properly, this material becomes a worm magnet and a moisture sponge at the same time. Before adding anything, the soil needs a basic pathway. In severely dry ground, dig a trench or pit about 20 to 25 centimeters deep. This depth matters because it keeps the material cool and damp while preventing surface drying. If the soil is extremely compacted, loosen the bottom slightly but don't pulverize it. Worms prefer structured soil they can move through, not dust. If you're working in raised beds, this same depth applies, just scaled to bed size. Begin by placing a thin layer of moist cardboard or newspaper at the bottom, about 1 centimeter thick. This helps hold moisture and provides an initial food source. Next, add your kitchen scraps, aiming for a ratio of roughly 3 parts vegetable matter to 1 part coffee grounds or other nitrogen-rich material. It's important, really, to avoid adding any meat or oily foods at all. The total thickness of this organic layer shouldn't exceed 8 to 10 centimeters, since too much can create anaerobic conditions, which actually repel worms rather than attract them. Once you've added the scraps, go ahead and sprinkle a handful of garden soil or finished compost over the top. This step introduces beneficial microbes and helps prevent strong odors from escaping. Finally, cover everything with the original soil and water deeply until the soil is evenly moist but not muddy. After installation, maintaining consistent moisture is absolutely critical during the first 2 weeks. You'll want to water the area lightly every 2 to 3 days, depending on your local climate. The goal here is for the soil to be damp but not soaking wet. If you squeeze a handful of soil and it holds together without dripping, you're in the right range. Letting the soil dry out can kill off microbial activity, and without those microbes, worms simply won't stay, even if there's food available. In hotter climates, adding a surface mulch layer about 5 centimeters thick can really help by slowing down evaporation. Within 5 to 7 days, bacteria and fungi will begin breaking down the kitchen scraps. This surge in microbial activity generates heat and scent, which naturally draws in worms. By about day 10 to 14, worms start feeding actively and create channels throughout the soil, improving both aeration and water infiltration. By day 30, most of the original scraps have been transformed into worm castings, which are among the most biologically active soil amendments you can find. These castings boost nutrient availability, improve soil structure, and enhance moisture retention long after the scraps have disappeared. Right, so let's talk about scaling this method effectively. For vegetable beds, you'll want to repeat this process every 60 to 90 centimeters, depending on the width of the bed. Now, for fruit trees, it's a bit different. You should dig 3 to 4 pits around the drip line rather than near the trunk. Each pit, mind you, should contain half the amount used in beds. This helps avoid an excessive concentration of nitrogen. And when it comes to lawns or those compacted patches, narrow vertical holes spaced about 40 centimeters apart work surprisingly well. Just fill them using the same layering method and you'll be in good shape. Now, adding too much material is by far the most common error people make. More is not better here, honestly. Overloading creates sour conditions that, well, actually repel worms. Letting the soil dry out during the first 2 weeks is another failure point, so do watch out for that. And finally, expecting instant results often leads gardeners to disturb the area too soon. Worms work quietly, you know, so leave the site alone for at least 3 weeks before checking progress. Purchased worms more often than not die or simply leave if conditions aren't perfect. This method, on the other hand, invites native worms already adapted to your climate and soil. Native worms establish permanent populations, reproduce naturally, and integrate much better into your ecosystem. Once established, they continue improving your soil year after year, and all without any further input. Repeated use of this technique builds organic reservoirs underground that act just like sponges during dry seasons. Water penetrates deeper instead of just running off. Roots follow worm channels, accessing nutrients that were previously unavailable. And over time, even heavily degraded soil begins behaving like living soil again. So if this guide helped you, do subscribe to Evergreen Garden for serious, proven gardening methods that actually work. Please share this with another gardener battling dry soil, and leave a comment below telling me where you're applying this technique. This is how we build better soil together, season after season.